Joan Rivers said that Michelle Obama was a man before she died.
Was that a joke? I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too, but the way she said it wasn't like jokey. She was like, oh, come on, everybody knows Michelle Obama's a man. Like, remember that?
Yeah, like, would Big Mike kill you for that?
Well, I think she died because she had 1,000 plastics.
Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld just dropped the political equivalent of a steel-capped boot on Michelle Obama's media-manufactured pedestal. With zero fear and maximum precision, they tore through the mythos, no soft gloves, no sacred cows. The carefully curated image, in smoldering ruins. The inspirational narrative, shredded. They dismantled the cult-like praise and left behind a brutally honest portrait that dared to ask the question, what happens when America's most protected political figure finally gets roasted?
Thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage.
Rogan didn't need a red carpet or a controversy. Michelle stepped back into the spotlight, and that was enough. To him, it was less politics, more performance. Like a diva returning for an encore tour, waving the relatable Queen banner in one hand and a kale smoothie in the other. Joe saw the moment for what it was, a political soft launch disguised as a
Jamie, there's a video of her and she's walking into her apartment building.
Right here. I just was playing the one
that's it. This is the one.
Or the first woman president.
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty funny how she said.
He started slow, like a lion stretching before the chase. No roar needed. Just a smirk, a head shake, and a sip of something strong. He called out the brand. Michelle wasn't a leader, she was a lifestyle. A motivational speaker draped in presidential nostalgia. Each appearance, he said, felt less like policy and more like a Lululemon ad backed by a Netflix deal. This wasn't leadership, it was
We love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment.
What's that pitter-patter sound I'm hearing in the background? It's the footsteps of Barack running to vote for Trump.
Her podcast, her docuseries, her sold-out stadium speeches, Rogan called it the most effective political rebrand in modern history. She wasn't rejoining public life. She was relaunching The Michelle Show, Season 2. Now with more hashtags, more humble brags, and the same $1 million production value. He mocked how she could lecture about adversity from the comfort of a beachfront estate and somehow still get praised for keeping it real.
It's a video where he was saying that Michelle Obama should run for president. If she won, she could pull her cock out and China would just give up. I was wheezing. I couldn't breathe.
Hardship, all while being one of the most privileged women on the planet. He compared it to a duchess giving a TED talk on the trauma of flying private. Her idea of struggle, bad lighting at a book signing. Yet the media ate it up like it was the second coming of the Gettysburg Address, wrapped in gluten-free kale chips.
Michelle. According to a new poll, Michelle Obama isn't as strong a Democratic candidate against former President Donald Trump as many Dems would have you believe. In a hypothetical matchup, my favorite kind. Trump wins with 47% of the vote compared to Michelle Obama's 44%. I guess some of the kids whose school lunches she ruined are finally old enough to vote.
He described her Netflix specials.
Now fully warmed up, Joe found his rhythm. He pointed out the absurdity of someone who lived in the White House for 8 years writing a memoir about being unseen. He said Michelle was the only person who could trend for weeks and still claim marginalization. She wasn't a torchbearer, she was the torch, carried endlessly by a media that treated her like a messianic brand of moral superiority. Then came the school lunches. Rogan said under Michelle's food crusade, kids weren't eating healthier, they were smuggling candy like
calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you are worth so much money.
Take more than they need. The Obamas have 4 mansions.
A media that treated her like a messianic brand of moral superiority. Then came the school lunches. Rogan said under Michelle's food crusade, kids weren't eating healthier, they were smuggling candy like it was contraband. Her wellness movement. A beige tray hunger strike disguised as activism. Her image wasn't just powerful, it was sacred, untouchable, filtered through a yoga mat of
Michelle Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it.
attack Michelle, but to eviscerate the mythology. He didn't go for her as a person. He went after the sanctimony, the aura, the political deodorant that made her criticism-proof. To Greg, she wasn't just a former First Lady. She was the high priestess of progressive fantasy, and he came to tear down the altar. Her speeches, he said, were therapy sessions in disguise, all with the same core message, even I suffer in America. Greg laughed. If being a best-selling author, Ivy League grad, and
Everybody having a good time. The country's almost back to normal before World War III. COVID was just so strange. We lost a lot of people during COVID, and most of them are still alive. Yeah. Before COVID, I would have told you that vaccines are the most important invention in human history. After COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. I think Michelle Obama's got a dick. I think Pizzagate is real. I think there's direct energy weapons in it.
Gutfeld then turned to her activism, describing it as performance art dipped in sepia tones. He mocked the Instagram-ready causes, the matching merch, the designer-branded outrage. Real activism, he said, doesn't come with a Spotify playlist and a publicist. It comes with risk, sweat, cost. And Michelle, in his words, had never risked anything, not politically, not socially, not financially. He tore into her memoirs too, calling them $400 a bottle humility lessons disguised as struggle. According to Greg, Michelle had perfected emotional inflation, turning minor inconveniences into generational trauma. Her realness. As authentic as a SpaceX prototype. Not relatable, but professional.
Has openly admitted that she and Barack sleep in separate bedrooms. Here's how it works. She sleeps downstairs, and he likes men. Chinning. The weather. Let's do a monologue. Michelle Obama's new podcast is off to a slow start, ranked at number 34 on Spotify. In her defense, most people don't like her.
Then came the real punch, the politics. Gutfeld warned that Michelle wasn't flirting with power, she was beta testing it. Every speech, every whisper, every just here to help moment was part of a slow-motion soft launch. A presidential campaign with the subtlety of a perfume ad. He called it the most glamorous sneak attack in American history. A coronation disguised as a comeback tour. Rogan returned with the body blows, calling her the self-help guru with a Secret Service detail. Speeches filled with universal fluff that could fit any era, any issue, all without ever committing to a single real stance. She wasn't dangerous for what she said. She was dangerous because no one dared say anything about her. Intro.
Continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men.
Being married to the president of the United States thing.
Yeah.
that none of us kind of banked on. I mean, we knew Barack was smart and, ambitious, but, I think. But you talked me into supporting his run.
I did.
Because I was definitely like, nope, no way, this is crazy. We've done enough crazy stuff.
That's right.
Gutfeld delivered the final cuts. Michelle Obama, he said, was the human version of a political mood board. Polished, poised, inspirational until she wasn't. Behind the charisma was a sharpened ideology wrapped in silk. She wouldn't campaign, she'd appear. No questions. Just lights, cameras, reverence. Rogan nodded in agreement. The problem wasn't Michelle, they said. It was the system that made her immune to criticism. That kind of untouchable status, no matter who holds it, is a threat to accountability.
That the girls would do at Barack was to go stand next to him when he pardoned this turkey. And it was cute when they were little, but as they got older, you could see on their faces in the shots of them thinking, I would just poke my eyes out. Just right now, just get me out of here. I'm standing with my father telling these stupid jokes, next to a turkey.
Together, they didn't just roast Michelle. They broke the spell. They peeled back the sheen, exposed the mechanics, and showed the theater beneath the grace. They didn't deny her intelligence or her influence. They simply refused to let those traits shield her from hard questions. Rogan leaned in again, calling out the irony of a global icon who still insists on playing the underdog. Like the winner of a marathon complaining the applause wasn't loud enough. He mocked how each public appearance was treated like a cultural awakening, like a UFC crowd cheering a yoga instructor shadowboxing in soft focus.
Will not run for president.
Yeah, I've heard you say I think Michelle should run.
She could win. She could win, I think. I think if she ran, she could win.
Did you ever run for office?
No.
I have to ask you.
No.
No kind of office?
No.
I don't think she wants that, though.
No,
I don't think
guess.
she wants that in her life. The bull that they dealt with over the 8 years when he was president.
Because I've got these two young people at home. Being the kids, the daughters of a president, just think about it. Not so easy.
That job for anybody that really good at it.
Yeah, I trust the person who doesn't want the job more than the person who wants the job.
It's not something that I'm interested in, or would ever.
To them, the drama wasn't in what Michelle said, but in how badly people wanted to believe her. Even when the message was little more than TED Talk tofu. Gutfeld capped it off, calling her the ultimate political safety net, someone you couldn't criticize without setting off the national alarm. The mere hint of a presidential run? Journalists reacted like Buckingham Palace had announced a royal birth. But to Joe and Greg, it was all obvious. Predictable. Calculated. And if the crown is coming, they wanted to make one thing clear: behind the sparkle, there's still a politician. And no politician, not even this one, should be above scrutiny.